Are you a fan of Star Wars, Marvel, Jurassic Park, The Office, or Disney and Pixar movies? Or do you just want a sleek, comfortable patterned shirt? Then you need to check out Roosevelts.com. Roosevelt's clothing is the most eye-catching and comfortable clothing available on the market. From button-ups to hoodies, hats, and more, Roosevelt's truly has something for everyone. Check them out today at Roosevelts.com. That is RSVLTS.com. And when you do, make sure to use promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off your order. Made for those with a love of sports, pop culture, and all of the above, this is clothing for the bold and fun for those who dare mighty things. So that's promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off new, clearance, and restocks at Roosevelts.com. This is take number 3 of just the intro. I'm Dylan. That's George. As you hear in my voice, it's going to be a lot of Postl coughs this week. It's Sunday as we're recording. And today we're talking all things Leprechaun Origins. My ring light went out. We had to mess with my camera. I had to order a new ring light. Then we saw a schmutz on the camera from this light. We tried to fix that. Instead, I just have to sit a little to the side this week. This is an audio and a video podcast brought to us by our sponsors. Who are they, George?
That's our good friends over at Roosevelt's, RSVLTS.com. Use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 20% on some of the most comfortable and coolest shirts that you could possibly buy. And of course, we want to remind everyone to follow along on all forms of social media. You've got Dylan's social, which is at Dylan Postl. The social for the podcast is at Going Postl Pod. DylanPostl.com for all the important links. You got a pro wrestling tee store, Dylan's merch store, the YouTube link, the Twitch channel, what else? Oh, SwoggleAuction.com. That's a link on there as well. Go to SwoggleAuction.com.
Next Wednesday, a week from today when this drops. Huge Whatnot stream. Like I talked about last episode, we're celebrating the 20 years of me wrestling. On that night, we have special cards, 4 signature cards, quad autos, you could call them. We're doing 3 massive giveaways for absolutely free, and we're going to have more items on the block than ever before. Friday, 10:25. I keep putting 9:25 in my social media things. And I don't know why, but this is how
we're not in that month anymore. That month's
I
gone.
know. This is not good. I'm a shell of myself.
Yeah, I don't know. You're in rare form today. And
I remember last year we did one of these, and I was coming off being sick or just getting sick. And I was like, man, that's and I feel my throat feels. And I popped a filling last week in my tooth, and it's I don't know. It's stabbing me in the gum. And of course, I called my dentist, and they go, "We can get you in March." And I go, "Well, can I get in for like an emergency thing?" Well, yeah. I called them on Friday. And of course, they don't do anything else on Friday. And my dentist wasn't in on Friday. So I go in tomorrow, which is Monday. It feels like a nail is in my gums. I've never had teeth or gum pain. I'm hurting. But you know what? I'm here. We're talking all things Leprechaun Origins today. That is today's episode, and I am pumped.
Yeah, well, there's no sense left in delaying. Do you want to just jump right into it?
Let's jump right in. Guys, let's talk about Mad Cat Beard Care. They make my beard feel soft, silky smooth, and they can do the same for yours. A one-man show since 2019, Mad Cat uses a portion of their sales to care for local stray cats.
That money covers their medical bills and finds them safe spaces and forever homes. Their products are made to order with vitamins and all-natural oils that promote strong, healthy hair and moisturize your skin as well. They've got exclusive scents for myself, as well as other wrestlers like my good pal Brian Myers, Mr. Kennedy, and Ring of Honor legend Delirious. Make sure to check out all of their scents, along with my Swoggled scent, which has notes of lavender and sage. I absolutely love this scent. And guys, we've got an exclusive offer for listeners of Going Postl. Use promo code SWOGGLED to save yourself 15% on your orders only at madcatbeardcare.com. That is Swoggled with a D on the end to save yourself 15% on your orders at madcatbeardcare.com. Guys, that's 15% with promo code SWOGGLed. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard.
Do you need a minute?
I'm loving this.
You're good? Because you don't sound good. Oh, no. The clap's already happened. The clap is just for you. It's for showmanship at this point. Okay, so we're going to kick it off here like we're doing a video game breakdown, because that's the format that I know and love and the format that I understand. So Leprechaun Origins, released in 2014 by Lionsgate and WWE Studios, directed by Zach Lipovsky?
Zach
Lipovsky. Zach Lipovsky, and written by Harris Wilkinson and Shalom Gelt. Rated R with a runtime of 90 minutes. And there are two taglines to this movie. There's the tagline in the trailer that is "Some legends never die," and then there is the tagline on the poster that says "A horror icon is reborn."
There's another one too. There is another tagline.
Typically, movies will have multiple taglines, especially when they're released internationally, because not every word translates exactly how it's meant. So you'll get riffs on them here and there. Those are the two that I found. If you can remember what the third one is, I didn't see a third one.
I can't, but there was one. I just remember it being on a DVD or on like an 8x10 or something that I signed.
Was it "The Fear Starts Here"?
Fear starts here. That's it.
That's from the DVD cover. 3 taglines.
Yep. So yeah, I found out that this was happening, and this is something I don't even think I talked about in the book. A crazy story. I was very unhappy in WWE at the time, and I asked for a meeting with Vince because I was going to quit. And as I'm talking to him about, I sit down and talk to him. He goes, "Hey, just we teamed up with Lionsgate. We're gonna redo the Leprechaun series, and it's gonna be starring you." And then all of my want to quit was like, "Well, fuck, I can't do this anymore."
It's funny how quickly that changes, right?
Yeah. But it was like, but then again, it was. So I found out about that in the winter of like 2012, I want to say. So I want to say January, February-ish. I want to say I found out about that in 2012. And then that WrestleMania week, I'm getting told, "Hey, we're going to do some of these during Access and everything. We're going to do these Swoggle Secrets tweets, #Swoggle Secret." And I was like, "Oh, okay, what is this?" They're like, "Yeah, but the last one, we're going to do them once a day or whatever it was. And the last one is going to be, you're going to reveal that we're rebooting the Leprechaun franchise." And I was like, "Oh, sweet. That's pretty awesome." And so we did it. And I remember there was one of them with like Jennifer Aniston, where I was like, "Hey, what do me and Jennifer Aniston have in common?" And no one knew it, obviously. But Jennifer Aniston's like her first role ever was in the Leprechaun franchise. So, and then we revealed it, And then I was like, oh, sweet. So that means we're probably going to film later this year. By this year, meaning 2012. We didn't. We did not at all film in 2012. And it was supposed to release in 2013, as I was told. It did not release in 2013. So now, again, I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Because this is, again, in one of my lull periods of not being used of all of this. So then I want to say it's like later 2012, fall, winter of 2012, going into 2013. I once again knock on the boss's door at TV one day. Hey, is this even happening? Like, what's going on? Because I've talked to talent relations and they don't know. I've talked to anyone that I could, and no one knows what's going on with the filming of this movie. We announced it, but then nothing. Is it happening? Is it not? What's going on? You're right. I'll get you an answer by next week. Sure, we will.
You never know.
There wasn't an answer that next week. So then, fast forward even more. Now it is a year later. I remember it specifically being a year from when I tweeted, hey, it's happening. This movie's happening. I knock on the door again. And I go, it's a year since we announced this was happening. And not only is it not happening yet, we haven't even started filming yet. I'll get on that right away. Okay. And this time, I got an answer. So that was March of 2014. Yeah. March of, I have it in my phone. That was March of 2013. March of 2013. I get an answer a couple weeks later. All right, we're starting to film in July. Sure. Whatever. I don't think so, but okay. Well, then talent relations says we found a director, all this. You're going to have a meeting with the director next week. So I flew Zach Lipovsky, who I never knew at all. He did a couple small budget movies at the time. And I was like, whatever. I just want to get this thing shot. I just want to get it done. So we do that. And then I have dinner with Zach. And we sit down. And he pulls out his computer and goes, hey, I have a concept idea for this movie. This is what I'm thinking. And he opens his computer and he shows me these sketches. And I immediately have a rock hard pit in my stomach. And I go, oh, because what he's showing me is this creature that looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings mixed with a troll, mixed with and I go, oh. He goes, yeah, we're going to reimagine the origins of Leprechaun. It's going to be Leprechaun Origins. And I go, and I'm in that? He goes, yeah. So you don't see my face? He goes, well, no, it's going to be all visual effects. And we got this huge visual effects studio doing it. I said, well, what about the arms? Because I saw the arms, and the arms are dragging on the ground. And these legs are long-looking legs, like a normal-ish looking human. And I'm going, what the fuck am I looking at?
Where do you fit in?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It's Leprechaun Origins. Obviously, you cast the Leprechaun in WWE. I get that. But this isn't that. So I just go with it. And I remember leaving dinner and texting my buddies and going, I don't know about this. And I didn't get the vision. I just didn't get the vision. And it's a bummer. it really is a bummer because I was like, man, I thought it was going to be like the old ones. And he goes, nope, there's not going to be these like silly limericks or anything like that. It's going to be a true horror film. All right, I trust your vision. It is what it is. Now we fast forward to July. And I get travel like a couple weeks before saying, hey, you're not going to be at TVs because for the next month because you're going to go to Vancouver. We're filming up in Vancouver. You're going to be up there for about a month and a half. I said, okay, but when do we start filming? They go, well, you're going to be up there for the first week just getting into like the suit and visual effects and trying on all of that. And immediately I go, oh, this is really happening. Like I saw. Okay. And then I get a script. And now I realize I don't have lines. Like there's literally no lines for this script. And now I'm going, what? I was just like going into it. I was so confused and so like, why am I the one doing this? If this isn't meant, if it's not meant for me, I did not understand it. And it's still to this day, very confusing, whatever. So I get to Vancouver, I find out I'm literally going to be staying in this same hotel for the whole month. And I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's going to be great. There's a nice pub right across the street that I can get into later that was very frequented by myself and the cast. But I find out I'm going to get fitted and everything for the creature suit. So I go to the visual effects studio. It's this Lindalen Schminken FX. And immediately I walk in there and there's this giant reptile dinosaur thing hanging from the ceiling. And I'm going, what is going on? And they go, no, that's for the upcoming Godzilla film. We're doing the effects for the baby Godzillas in this. And I'm going, this is odd, but okay, that's fun. I said, all right, so what are we doing today? They go, okay, today we have to do a plaster cast of your head to fit in the skull of the creature. I go, all right. They go, that means we need to plaster over your entire face and you just get a mold of your entire head and face so this can be fitted tightly to your mouth and your jaw. And I go, well, what does that mean? They go, essentially, you're going to sit in this barber's chair while we put this plaster over your face, and you're going to breathe through straws in your nose until it's hardened. And I go, oh, this will be fine. Like I'm not claustrophobic in the least bit. Easy. So they start doing it. And they go, I had to hold this bar. I remember I had to hold this bar because they wanted the shoulders and everything to be in position for when I would be in this suit that we, again, will talk about a little later. They're wrapping it up. They go, hey, there's no real way to tell us you need out. So if you need out, move or something. But here we go. And I remember I could talk a very little bit out of my mouth. And it was hardening. And as it's hardening, it's like getting tighter and tighter and tighter on my face. And I finally just said, how much, like I remember mouthing, like how much longer? And they go 3 minutes. And I go, And they go, 2 minutes. And I go, And so they ended up like, they go, well, do you want to get it off your face? But we might have to do it again if it didn't dry. And I go, I just literally, I remember moving like, yes. And so they took it off and thank God it was dried. And then it's like, I have this bust of my head that I'll make a
Now
note.
people do like time lapse things of those, like, when people are getting for prosthetics and stuff, they do like time lapse. videos.
It's crazy. Like I say, I'm not claustrophobic in the least bit. So then we go into the mold of this suit. And now starts the even more kind of frustrating to me. Because again, why am I covered up in this whole thing if it's supposed to, I don't know. I just was very confused. So it's this whole latex and thick rubber suit that's like, again, it's very much like a goblin or like the guy from Lord of the Rings. What's his name again? Gollum from Lord of the Rings. That's literally what it looked like. And I have to put it on. And not only that, but the arms, because they wanted it bent, like walking almost like an orangutan or an ape. So I would walk on my knuckles and have a bend in my legs. I see how you're looking at me, and this is exactly my reaction to it as well. They wanted this. And I just came across some like footage from in the effects studio that I'm definitely going to send you because I've never seen it until I just came across it today. So it's definitely never been seen again. And also at this point in my life, I am the most overweight I've ever been. So not only am I uncomfortable in this latex suit that's about 35, 40 pounds, but I'm extremely overweight and heavy under this suit, which is even more uncomfortable. So we get in this, and I have footage of it. I'm like practicing walking in this suit and going, but I can't move above bent over. Like I have to squat my legs so my arms touch the ground, and that's how I'm moving. It is very odd. And I can't stand up straight because the suit isn't meant to be stood up straight.
Huh.
I'm telling you, it's just, this whole thing didn't make sense to me. Whatever. We get the latex head, which fits perfectly because they did the plaster casting of my head. So it is extremely tight. Now we have a thing of, we want the mouth to be able to move with my jaw. So now we have to glue it to my face.
Oh, no. Wait, what's your facial hair like at this time?
Shaved. I had to shave, which made me look even fatter.
Wait, on television,
no one cared.
No, but like what? Like your last appearance on television was with a beard.
Was with a beard.
Oh, because you didn't have like your very rarely was your beard like close to your face. Like you had a beard. Like there were occasions that it was, but for a large portion of your career in WWE, you had like what you have now, like a full beard.
100% out of laziness. But yes. We had to shave up because we had to attach.
Don't give that secret away. It's because your character needed the full beard.
So we had to attach it to my face so the jaw would move with my jaw. Again, confusing because I didn't have lines.
And you don't even like make like grunts or like
nothing.
It's not you. Like there are noises, but it's not you.
No. And the other thing, there is like 2 scenes where I need the jaw to open, I remember, in the movie. There are 2 scenes in it where the jaw has to open quite a bit. But that was it. That was literally it. And it was just so nuts, man. We're spending a lot of time on this, which is I love. Let's get to actually shooting. So now, once we get the walk and the prosthetics, because then the arms, when we first did them, because of the weight, I mean, these things, each arm was 13 pounds, I remember.
Damn.
Each arm was 13 pounds because, again, they were 1.5 feet off my hands. And it was just this heavy latex.
Oh, my God.
And mind you, it's summer in Vancouver where we're shooting. So there were days where it was like 95 or 100 degrees, I remember them saying, and going, hey, we have to film this whole thing in 15 days. The whole movie, 15 days. It's never been done. The lowest it is 45 days. We're filming this in 15 shooting days. And I'm going, okay, so all of my scenes, I mean, I'm in, like, the ones I'm in is at night, and it's still so hot overnight in this suit, going. And now we get to set. And they go, all right, what time? I said, what time do you need me if we're shooting this? Well, we're going to need you about 3 hours before. I go, like, to go over everything? They go, no, to get in the suit.
Yep, I had a feeling that that's what you were going to say.
I go, what do you mean? They go, well, we have to have it camera ready. I go, well, what does this mean? Well, we're going to put the head on first, and then we're going to glue around the eyes because we don't want it folding up. Then we're going to put black contacts in your eyes. Again, I can't do this because I have these fucking hands attached. And they go, yep. And then we have to attach the head to the torso with the arms. And then we have to pin all that and glue all that together. And then we need to put the pants on, which are these leg extensions of Ken, because why do I not have my legs? I have leg extensions. When I'm a dwarf, as a leprechaun.
It goes against everything of the name of the character.
I truly don't know why. Besides that, I was the Leprechaun in WWE. I don't know why I was cast in this movie. So we shoot the first day, and they go, "All right, we're gonna break for lunch." I go,
you remember what your first scene was?
Fuck, hell no.
It's worth a shot.
I do. Now that you say that, I had to walk up these stairs in this cabin, these wooden stairs in this suit.
Of course. Why wouldn't that be your first scene in a full prosthetic suit?
Now that you say that, I remember it so much. Getting to this cabin and going, oh, I have to go up those rickety stairs in this? You go, yeah. I said, well, what if I fall backwards? They go, and I go, the silence isn't good. They go, well, we can have someone behind you, but they can't be too close because of how we're shooting. Okay. I'm going up, whatever. I hear we're going to break for lunch. And I go, sweet. Uh-oh. How am I going to get out of this suit so I can break for lunch?
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Oh, that's going to be about an hour to get out of the suit. And I go, can we just take the head off? They go, no, because it's attached to the torso. I said, can we just take the torso and the head off? They go, no, because it's attached to the legs. So every day on set, 3 hours to get in, hour to get out. We had it down to a science for that part. We could do to get back in would be about an hour and a half.
I was going to say so then to get back in would be another full 3 hours?
Usually about an hour and a half. It was hour out, hour and a half in, hour out. And
I'm glad that you said that. I was like, there's no way.
So after a while, I was just like, guys, we don't have to take lunch. I can just sit in this and we can just bust this whole shoot out. It was, I'm very thankful for having this under my belt. Very thankful. Oh, one of the scenes too, kind of a funny thing. So there was going to be a night scene, shocking, where two of the farmer guys are shooting these shotguns at me. And they're like, okay, but they're going to be blanks. But they're still going to have explosions popping off. And they go, do you need your earplugs? I said, well, two things. I said, one, how am I supposed to get earplugs in under this head? We kind of forgot about that, didn't we? They go, oh yeah. Well, I said, well, how loud are these? I live under a wrestling ring with pyro all the time. They go, oh, it's pretty loud. I said, can we fire one? They fired it, and it sounded like an adult snapper. And I go, that's it? I go, is it going to go louder? They go, no. I go, guys, come on. It was literally like adult snappers going off on the ground.
It was the nice thing to do to let you know.
George.
Because it could have been way worse. They don't know that you were under a wrestling ring,
George,
sleeping peacefully with your PSP.
George,
they don't know that part of your life.
I understand this, but the nice thing would not have to have this thing take 3 hours to get in every day. That would have been the nice thing.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the cool things during that whole time shooting, my parents, they every summer they take a trip, like a long driving trip. And that summer they decided to integrate coming up to see me on set for a few days. And they got to experience all that. And so it was really cool to have them. They came, I don't remember if they came for a full week and then stayed for the weekend or just for a few days on set. I know it was at least 2 days on set. And then we went up to see like the huge waterfalls around Vancouver and just kind of hung out. It was awesome for them to kind of see me in that element because it's something that they never obviously saw. And the cast, I connected so much with them that week. And again, we were all staying, they were from Vancouver, but the kids, I call them, the 2 girls and 2 guys that were the main 4 characters. I remember Stephanie Bennett was the name of one of the girls. I remember, I think this is why, again, my memory.
You let me know. I got them pulled up. You let me know when you want me to tell you. So there's Stephanie Bennett. There's Melissa Roxburgh.
Yep.
And then Brendan Fletcher.
Brendan Fletcher. So he was a huge wrestling fan. And he didn't really know. I don't think he knew that it was going to be a WWE Films thing. Because then when I show up and we're talking, he goes, that's you. Oh. And so we would just talk wrestling. And I would like, after months after that, I would bring him to like shows out in LA and that area. And he would just come to hang out. And it was awesome. And who was the 4th?
Andrew Dunbar.
Yes. So
and then there's Teach Grant.
Yep. Melissa, Stephanie, Andrew, and Brendan. We would just all go to that pub across the street every day every weekend, every day on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. We'd go at like 1 and just rage and just have a blast. And it was so much fun because it was right across the street from the hotel. It was so much. It was just a blast. It was really, really cool getting to know them and hang out with them on the set. And it was being able to kind of like on Muppets when I did that with Ray Liotta and Danny Trejo, kind of that telling them about my world and them telling me about their world. And it was really, really neat. It was really enjoyable.
The lead up into it was that this was, quote, not related to any of the previous Leprechaun films. 2 young couples backpacking through Ireland discover that one of Ireland's most famous legends is a terrifying reality. So that's like the teaser. And then the actual Lionsgate blurb about the movie was, backpacking through the lush Irish countryside, 2 unsuspecting young couples discover a town's chilling secret. Ben, Sophie, David, and Jenny quickly discover the idyllic land is not what it appears to be when the town's residents offer the hikers an old cabin at the edge of the woods. Soon, the friends will find that one of Ireland's most famous legends is actually a terrifying reality. So it's just like an expanded version of that.
The only other scene that really like stands out is the final scene in the movie, which I remember doing on the last day of when Stephanie Bennett chops the creature's head off. And I remember like going, okay, how are we going to do this? Like, what's going to happen? What are we doing? Because again, the thing was, I couldn't get physical in this because of all the prosthetics. So
I have questions about that.
Yeah, I could not get physical at all. Oh, so there's one scene too. Oh, here's another one.
This may be the scene that I was going to say that I wanted to ask you about.
The truck?
Oh, no. I wanted to ask about where it's a close-up of you
Yep.
in the suit, and you are reaching into...
The tongue.
Yeah.
So...
And then I want to talk about the logic behind that I found in trivia. That is funny.
So there's a scene where the creature is riding on top of a truck, and they're trying to. He jumps on the truck to try to attack the people, and they just take off down this dirt road and trying to turn and turn and turn to get the creature off. I was like, sweet, I can do a cool stunt that'll at least I'll be able to brag about. They're like, no. We got another guy. I go, what? They go, yeah, we got another little person to do it. And I go, guys, I'll do this. Let me do this.
Like your job is a stuntman, essentially. Like you bump for a living. Like that's your job.
And I was so pissed off. So then, now let's go to the tongue one. There's a scene where I rip one of the girl's tongue rings out. And I remember, because they were the weighted hands, I couldn't do anything with them because they were just fists. So the shot was me lifting up the hand that was like this and like moving forward, but that was it.
So wait, there's a shot where it's a hand in the mouth though.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Like that is a close-up of your character.
Yeah.
And you're not the one in that scene.
Yeah.
So the funny logic trivia behind that is that obviously the leprechaun steals the gold.
Well, yeah.
And
it was
the
a gold
tongue ring. No, it's not. It's a silver tongue ring. And that's why the trivia logic behind that is.
Was it really?
The logic behind it is, why does it, like, she's very clearly wearing gold earrings in that scene. Why does he care about her silver tongue ring? It's like one of the trivia blurbs that came up. And I was just like, oh.
Maybe it's white gold.
Could be white gold.
Maybe it's white.
But I was just like, oh my God, that's one. The things that eagle eye watchers will catch in movies never ceases to amaze me. But then that also little trivia fact, I was like, I wonder if Dylan knows that.
Hell no.
And then no, because you're not actually the one in that scene.
So then the final thing I remember is shooting the final scene where I get my head chopped off. And I was like, okay, she can't hit me with this axe, obviously. So we have to shoot it where she like swings and stops perfectly. But then there's just a cut and the head just hits the ground, rolling. All I remember is going like, okay, this is done. And I feel bad having that reaction. I do. I really, really do feel bad having that reaction to this whole thing. But it was so not what I was expecting, the whole thing. And again, I'm very grateful for the experience. First time, like it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. But then I remember leaving set and going, oh shit, I wonder. So I text the people at Lindahl Schminken and I go, hey, if there's any chance I could get one of those heads as a gift, that would be awesome. And they go, I don't know if we're able to do that. We'll see what we can do. I said, it'd be great to remember this whole thing with, like, bye. And I wasn't expecting it at all. And then couple months later, I get a box. And I go, what is this? I take it out, and it's the creature's head on a post.
Oh my
and I
God.
go, this is so cool. Like it meant so much to me. And
that's going on social media, that picture.
Yeah, but it's not, it was the head from the final scene. So it's not open face, like open-eyed and open-bottomed. It had to be the head that looked like me in the head, which is cool. So I have it in a huge glass box, glass case on my bar in my basement.
That's awesome.
It's been on the bar since the bar was made.
That is
really, really cool.
Fantastic.
And I just, and that was that. That was the filming of it.
What's it like? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's it like to see a DVD and, you know, you've got action figures and things like that, and you've been in other movies, but what's it like to see a movie poster and a DVD that says, you know, your top billing WWE superstar, Dylan Hornswoggle Postl, and then the title of the movie?
We're pretty deep in this. I don't even know if we're going to get into the hot take. We're deep, but
no, we're doing the hot take.
Even better. So now we film it. And now it's another waiting game. When is this coming out? What's happening? What's going on? I hear we're going to get we're going to talk about it at San Diego Comic-Con. And I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. A, I've never been to Comic-Con, so that'll be cool. And B, I get to talk about this movie. Now, I get to talk about this movie that at that point I have never seen. I've never seen a cut of this. I've never seen a scene of this. I've never seen anything of this movie. Have to go to talent relations. Hey guys, how am I supposed to talk about a movie I've never seen? They go, what do you mean? I go, what do you mean? What do I mean? I've never seen this. How would I have ever seen this movie? They go, oh, that might be a problem. I said, you fucking think? So I go, when am I going to see this? Because Comic-Con is next week. They go, oh, we'll have to figure that out. Every day I'm texting talent relations. What's the update? What's going on? No answer. They tell me you're going to land in San Diego. There's going to be a DVD with a DVD player waiting for you in your room.
Okay. That's something.
I go, okay, when am I landing? They go, you land at about 9:30 p.m. the night before Comic-Con. Whatever. Sure. Let's do it. This will be fine. I land. I go right to the hotel, obviously. Get the DVD player. Plug it into the TV. Put the DVD in. Here we go. And I'm watching it. And I am waiting to see this creature that I spent 3 weeks shooting. And I don't see it. Oh, I see a head. Oh, I see a mouth. I see some eyes. I see it possibly moving through grass that I had to do and run in this suit through grass. I never saw the creature. Ever. I remember the closing credit hit, and I literally was sitting in my room and I go, what the fuck? I remember saying, and then I texted Zach Lipovsky, the director, who was also going to be talking about it at Comic-Con with me. We were both so psyched. And I just go, hey man, I just watched it for the first time. I don't know. And I just remember put, I don't know. And he goes, I'm so sorry. I know how you're feeling. I wish I would have had more control. So, in talking to him and other things, I found out he had a vision for what it was going to be. And WWE Studios had their vision of what it would be. And WWE Studios is obviously top billing on the project, so they get more final say. in the edits and all of that. And we got what we got. And I just remember being so, not even like pissed at that point, but like bummed. Like I spent 3 hours every day getting into this costume, sweating. One of the days I was so sick, I had to get the head off so I could throw up because I was so hot. I just like all of this. And we spent all this time fitting myself and having to learn to walk with these prosthetics and all of this and the head fitting to not be seen. And the character, I have photos with my parents. I have photos on set. I have all these photos in the suit where the character itself looks pretty cool, but there's no evidence of it. And it's just so irritating looking back at it and going, what the fuck? What did we do that? But we talked the hell out of it at Comic-Con. So now we go to the release. It's going to be released in some theaters, but it's going to be released on DVD. Awesome. And now I hear it's being released. And I'm going, I hear there's going to be a trailer played on Raw that night. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is great. I'm watching, I see the start of the trailer and I'm going, oh, this is awesome. And then the trailer ends. And I was with Kofi. I want to say I was with Kofi. And I go, what the fuck was that? And he had nothing to say. George, the trailer didn't say my name. The initial trailer didn't say my name at all.
Like you've got there's no like WWE superstar Hornswoggle or
no, there is nothing of my name in the trailer. I can't go to Vince because it's during Raw and he's in Gorilla working Raw. The next week, again, here we go again. Knocking on the door. Not available. Started Raw. I'm waiting by his door knocking. And now, George, it was the perfect timing. I'm in his office and I say, hey, I have a bit of an issue and I hate to keep bugging you about this, and now the trailer comes on at that time. And I go, it's this. It's always the movie trailer. This is great. I go, no. And it stops. And I go, where was my name in it? Oh, I don't see why that would be left out. You don't see why it would be left out? Then why is it left out? Very simply, you should be the one overseeing this. Why is it a WWE superstar at all if we're not putting the name in the trailer? I'll have that changed. He did have it changed, but instead of a video trailer the next week, it was a bottom scroll. That would come up once during Raw. The ticker at the bottom that would also be like, hey, Jillian
so like
Hall
this tweeted, I was gonna say like the social media feed.
Yeah, Jillian Hall tweeted, hey, had a great fucking weekend or whatever, and then Leprechaun Origins on DVD now, Dylan Hornswoggle Postl, which I also had to fight for because they just wanted it to be Hornswoggle like the Muppet film, and I had to fight for that to say, no guys, this is a real movie that you're saying, so let's not have it be just Hornswoggle.
Because for all the other WWE films, so like for the Marine,
Kane was the same time that See No Evil was filmed and coming out the same time as mine.
Okay, so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about the Marine movies. Like John Cena's John Cena, but is the Miz billed as Mike Mizanin or the Miz?
I don't know.
The exact same as yours. It's Mike the Miz Mizanin.
Yep. And again, this is coming off very negative. on this whole thing. And I am very thankful for this, to have a poster in my office, exactly what you said, that says Dylan Hornswoggle Postl as the marquee billing. I am very thankful that I can have that I can have a DVD with me as the key billing, that I have the head of the movie I busted my ass on in my bar for the rest of my life. I'm very thankful for these things. But to see the ball dropped so horribly on the whole thing, movie aside, the commercialization of it and advertisements of it, there was none. There was nothing. And that's what I'm most upset about, I think.
Yeah. And I think you have every right to be. I don't think there's anything. I mean, to go through all of the prosthetic work and the discomfort and the sickness that you went through in the suit, to then have it be relegated to something, flashes on the screen, quick cuts, things like that. It's frustrating, and I get it, man. It's an annoying thing to have dealt with.
To this day, people are still like, "Oh, that wasn't." I saw that Leprechaun movie, and I said, here's the thing. If you go into it not thinking it's going to be like one of the other Leprechaun movies, you can take it for a low-budget horror film. If you go into it thinking that it's going to be one of the limerick-infused Leprechaun movies that you're used to, yeah. Oh, that's another thing. We tried to offer him. He was supposed to be, there's a bar scene where a bunch of locals are sitting in this bar talking about the character. And we wanted him to do a cameo in it. And he said, absolutely not. If it's not me playing the Leprechaun, it shouldn't be made. Okay. So, guys, I am very thankful that I got to do this project. I am very, very thankful for it, that I got to experience it. I just wish the back end of it all would have been better.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to check out Leprechaun Origins for yourself, it is available on Prime Video for $3.99. You can also buy the Blu-ray for $36. You can buy the DVD for $10.
You can get On Whatnot next week.
Oh, look at that.
On Whatnot next week, because I knew we'd be talking about this.
Almost like he planned this segment out. Look at that.
I literally just thought of it. Guys, go to swoggleauction.com, and literally, if you're signing up as a new user, you can get a DVD, a signed DVD for $10. I'm going to do them. I'm going to sign them on Whatnot and sell them in the Buy It Nows. I'm going to do them on Whatnot next week. And coming off this podcast, I thought people might enjoy that. I have it's either 6 of them or 10 of them. I forget.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's limited, and they'll be on Whatnot next Wednesday.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the Leprechaun Origins part of this episode. Now we're going to do a quick little hot take here. We're going to do a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to do the hot take of the week. So, hot take of the week, for those who are not familiar, is a segment where Dylan vents about something that the widespread general public usually accepts and likes, and Dylan has very, very specific opinions and tastes and likes to share his thoughts on that. We've talked about grilled cheese, toast, strawberry jam, breakfast for dinner, all things of that nature. But today, being that this episode is a Halloween-themed episode, I want to know what Dylan thinks are the most overrated Halloween traditions and what are his top 5 least favorite Halloween candies.
So, Justin Michael, friend of the pod, knows my hatred from Twitch of candy corns. So he got me the seasonal. He always sends me the seasonal candy corn. It's always a weird one. This week is a fall festival candy corn. And then because I love
from the Candy Corn Kings over at Brax.
Brax, yes. He sent me Nerds candy corn, which I'm going to absolutely love because I love Nerds candy. I love it, but I despise. Guys, you can't. You can't, with a straight face, honestly say, and I'm getting closer to the mic, you can't with a straight face, you can't honestly say you enjoy normal candy corn. Now the autumn mix with the I think it's a little chocolate on the bottom or something, whatever. You can't say you enjoy normal candy corn. No one does. These Nerds ones, yeah, baby. Ooh, getting in my cheeks. Those are great. Normal candy corn. If you seriously can say you eat more than 5 pieces and you enjoy it, you're lying to yourself and me.
The candy corn pumpkins, I think, are far superior than regular candy corn.
Those are even worse. Oh, here's a little bit of wax in a corn kernel shape. Oh, he's even more wax in a pumpkin shape that tastes like dog shit.
All right, so what else? So is candy corn your number one worst?
Circus peanuts. If you give circus peanuts for Halloween, you should never be allowed to. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, George. If you give shitty candy for Halloween, you should be able to get your house egged. Very simple. Very simple. If you are choosing candy corn or a fucking penny or let's go those the wax, the little wax bullshit things, if you're doing bottles? That, huh?
The wax bottles?
No. They're like in the wax paper and it's like taffy. It's shitty taffy.
Oh, like saltwater taffy?
It's just different. It's just different. If you go to Target and you get shitty candy instead of this giant bag, sure, it's a little expensive. I understand that. But you have 2 options. Why are you going with shitty candy instead of being like, hey, here's I can treat these kids to a nice night. They don't want a fucking penny. They don't want candy corn. They want suckers. They're not lollipops either. They're suckers. You shouldn't call them lollipops. I hate the word. They're suckers.
Okay, so we got circus peanuts, candy corn. Are we qualifying the pennies or no? Or do you do the bad taffy?
You know what I mean by taffies.
I know what you mean. What I need 2 more. 2 more really bad ones.
Tootsie Rolls. No one.
I knew you were gonna fucking say Tootsie Rolls. I love Tootsie Rolls.
No one like. Oh, you do? You like just a single Tootsie Roll? That's gonna really hold you over. A single Tootsie Roll.
Love Tootsie Rolls.
Also,
Tootsie Rolls are great.
Fucking blow pops. Get out. The outside, great. The gum sucks.
Is that ranking on worst candies?
Yeah. Yep. As a kid, loved them. Oh, you know what? Nope. No. Caramel apple pops. If you buy caramel apple pops, stop handing candy out. Turn your porch light off. Stop.
What are your thoughts on bobbing for apples on Halloween?
No one likes bobbing for apples. A child doesn't like bobbing for apples. Here's an idea. Here's a great idea. Whoever came up with this concept to bob for apples. Here, I'm gonna get a tub. What?
Like
what are you
who?
doing?
Like who?
Oh, the bobbing for apples? That brought you? You like bobbing for apples?
I've never done it.
Okay.
But I find it stupid.
Thank you. Here's the thing, George, who came up with bobbing for apples. I'm gonna get he didn't drown. I'm gonna get this big tub of water from a tub that was in my garage for the rest of the year, just collecting leaves and shit. I'm gonna fill it with hose water because they aren't using sink water. I'm gonna use the hose to fill up this thing, and then I'm gonna put a dozen apples in this. And child number 1 is going to put their dirty face with Halloween makeup and shit in this apple bobber thing, this tub. And they're going to try to get these apples. They're going to put their little booger-infested mouths all over these apples. And they're not going to get one. They're not going to get one.
I have so many questions about that sentence.
They're going to keep lipping these apples. Every apple they're going to try to get. Also, here's a thing. How are you supposed to open your mouth underwater? We're not supposed to do that. That's how you drown. So now let's say little Timmy gets an apple. Who wants a fucking apple? Like, you got candy. You got candy. It's a Halloween party. What the fuck do you want an apple for? Like, and now Susie's got to go in. Susie goes in with her makeup on, looking great. Looking like Raggedy Ann or Pepper Ann or whatever it is.
They're children. They don't care.
They should care. You know what happens? You get a voice like this because you get sick.
My question.
I would like to point out that you have been louder and more aggressive about the Halloween topic that we have been talking about for the last 8 minutes than you were for the last 60 minutes of talking about the movie.
There's got to be an age for a cutoff for trick-or-treating. Landon shouldn't go this
Are you crazy?
He should.
Oh, no.
He shouldn't.
With him in the
16?
room?
You can't drive to the houses? 16? 16?
What is the concept of Halloween for apples?
To get an apple.
But
Because every
To get
kid
an
wants
apple.
a goddamn
I have
apple.
a question.
You can't swallow because you're going to swallow the mud water from the
No,
leaf.
you don't swallow. You just
Chew it and you spit it out. Oh, that's even great. That's even better.
That's clean water.
The
Thoughts
water
and
wasn't
final
clean,
thoughts.
General. It's from the goddamn hose into a leaf bucket.
You've never drank it out of the hose?
Also, I don't like bobbing for apples because I couldn't do it because I got my gimmick ear that I always needed an earplug for. Everything about it. This whole season sucks. Allergies, dryness, everything sucks.
Halloween.
Halloween sucks.
What?
Halloween doesn't suck. Halloween is the third best holiday.
What's the
Christmas, 4th of July, Halloween.
Oh, you're crazy.
I'm not a child anymore, Landon.
You think Christmas is number one?
Christmas easily number one.
That's not a childish thing?
No, I like spreading holiday cheer.
You don't like Thanksgiving?
No, I don't like Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we talked about this. You don't like the food. You're not a big fan of like big turkey guy. You don't like sweet potatoes.
Stuffing is the only stuffing. If stuffing weren't around, Thanksgiving I would be fine with not having. Yeah, and now you still think I like fucking going looking for pumpkins. You don't know shit about me. You think you know me, as my friend Edge says. You think you know me.
No,
You think I want. You think I want to go pumpkin. George. Also, you have to lift the pumpkin. You have to haul the pumpkin. Then you know what you do with the pumpkin? You carve it, which I also can't stand.
But now you've got a sweet skull logo that you can put in and carve into the pumpkin. You can have a Swoggle TTD designed stencil pumpkin.
Guys, if someone makes the skull logo, I will send them a whole care package of merchandise. Care package of merchandise. If you make a Swoggle skull and or a going Postl, let's do it. I got care packages of merch ready. You got a hat. You want a sick hat? You got a sick shirt? It's coming your way. I want to see these pumpkins. Also, let me tell you this, George, real quick. My dad, Eric Postl, the last few years, uses a power saw, miter saw, whatever it is, to carve pumpkins. It is the greatest thing ever. Man, why didn't people have that? Like, why didn't we have that as kids?
And yet still, you refuse to carve a pumpkin.
I don't refuse. I do it with my niece and nephew and Landon here and there.
We haven't done it this year.
We don't need to.
We do.
Also, why are we carving pumpkins to let them sit for 6 days and then turn into moldy pieces of garbage? Why are we doing it? Well, guys, I'm done getting angry. I hate this time of year. I hate it. I hate fall. It's stupid. It gets cold all of a sudden. I don't like cold. The older I get, the more I hate cold. I hate the fall traditions.
The plastic bag makes for great audio quality, just saying.
You can hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Got a really good microphone.
Yeah.
Don't got a fucking ring light that works. Just hit my lip. Guys, we're going downhill like a pig on roller skates here. George, Let's start plugging.
Man, pig on roller skates. What a visual. At Going Postl on all forms of social media. At Dylan Postl on all forms of social media. DylanPostl.com. That is the one-stop shop for everything. It's got links to the YouTube, all the social medias, the Twitch channel, SwoggleAuction.com. Get yourself a free $10 credit on Whatnot. And it's got the pro wrestling tees also on there. And the Swoggle's Big Cartel, which is his non-pro wrestling tees merch. And this is the part where Dylan yells at me to plug my shit, so I'm just going to do that now. In addition to this podcast, I have another podcast. It is myself and former Create a Pro champion, Johnny Clash. And but on this podcast, we call him what?
Bruce!
Oh, God, you're so close to the mic for that one. And that podcast is called the Game Marks Podcast. We cover a new wrestling video game each and every week, breaking down the good, the bad, and the awesome of all things wrestling video games. So please, if you are interested in that or just want to check us out, you can do that. We are available on all podcast platforms, and you can find us on social media at Game Marks Pod. Dylan's raising his hand. Yes, Dylan Postl.
I got to plug. I don't know if it's going to be up at this time. I think they're recording this week.
This episode comes out on the 18th.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be out by then. But Joe Mez
podcast.
Yeah, they're having my buddy Matt Stein on the show, and I don't know what they're talking about, but I heard he's recording, and that's gonna be a really, really fun time. George, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this bag of candy corn. 44% of your daily sugar. Another reason candy corn sucks.
Now look at the nerds one.
Oh no. 44% of your daily sugar.
Thank you.
I've eaten more than 15 pieces, which means I've had like 88% of my daily sugar.
Well, luckily the day's almost over, so you're good. But guys, we appreciate you joining us for this episode all about Leprechaun Origins, and hope you will join us for the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and leave us a review on both Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It really does help out the show. But that's it, Dylan. That is the whole episode. So there is nothing left for me to say except for encouraging you to do that signature Dylan Postl sign off whenever you're ready.